Would you like a refresher on simple, compound, and complex sentences? If so, stick with me. So the honest truth is, if you are writing in English, you cannot escape these. They're everywhere. So you might as well make friends with them, right? So I could just explain it to you, but some of you will end up confused, and some of you will end up bored, and some of you will have glazed over eyes. So let's skip it. Let's think about weddings. Okay, seriously. Weddings is part of a word picture, a metaphor that should help you understand and remember these kind of sentences. So stay with me. Simple, compound, and complex sentences. Let's talk about weddings. Now, this idea for this metaphor, this word picture, is not my idea. It came from Kara Colt, my friend and colleague, and both of us have been using these to help students understand these kinds of sentences, and it's actually helped them. So my hope is that it will help you as well. So at the outset, let's review. What is a clause? A group of words that has a subject and a verb. An independent clause. This is a clause that can stand alone as a sentence. It makes sense all by itself. What's a dependent clause? This clause cannot stand alone as a sentence. It just doesn't make sense by itself. It needs the other parts of the sentence to make sense. A simple sentence. This is one sentence made up of one independent clause. Here's two examples. I love weddings, or I am not married. So what happens when two independent clauses get married? I am married, that's one. Now there are two of us. That's a second one. They're both independent clauses. They need to be connected with a comma and a connector. These are like wedding rings. If you have an adult and an adult, if you join them in marriage. So if we have an independent clause and an independent clause, we join them with a comma and a connector, the wedding rings. Two independent clauses or two parent clauses is a compound sentence. So it's time for a wedding. We need a bride, a groom, and a wedding ring. I love cooking. Maybe the bride is thinking that when she gets married, or the groom. And then maybe a month later, I'm tired of it. So how do we connect these? Remember the wedding ring, comma, and a connector. And notice I am tired of it right now. This is a little different than you might have been thinking. So if we have two independent clauses and one is a little different, we need to choose the right connector, one that communicates that difference is coming. But. So what are some other connectors? Some wedding ring words. Here they are, some of them. You can use fanboys to help you remember some of the most commonly used coordinating conjunctions for connectors. F for for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. Our wedding ring words that connect two independent clauses. So now comes baby. One independent or parent clause plus one dependent or baby clause. So one parent and one baby. How do we connect those? This kind of sentence is called a complex sentence. Here's an example. After we had our baby, our life was forever changed. Notice the first clause starts with the word after. This is a dependent clause. It doesn't make sense by itself. After we had our baby, what? So when we connect it, here's our baby, and then we have our independent clause. Our life was forever changed. Then notice the comma. So if we have our baby, a baby, think about it. We have to change their diaper. We have to feed them. If they're little enough, they can't even lift their head. They are dependent. So they need extra help. So that comma is that extra help. This will help you remember, when do you put a comma? You put it after the baby because a baby needs help. Now let's switch the order of the clauses. Our life was forever changed after we had our baby. We started with an independent clause. Now parents, they're independent. They can be on their own. They're fine. They don't need extra help, so no comma. And then our baby. Let's do some more on dependent clauses. You can think of these as diaper words. So these are words that are clues. Baby clause, clues. They tell us a dependent clause is happening. After, although, as, because, before, if, since, until, when, and while. Show you what I mean. I will feel so much better if the baby sleeps through the night. So I will feel so much better is an independent clause. Then, did you notice the word in pink? If. It's one of our diaper words. It's a clue that what we have is a dependent clause happening. If the baby sleeps through the night, that can't stand alone by itself. It's dependent. So we started with independent, and then we have dependent, and no comma, because remember, the parents, they don't really need any help. Switch the order and see what happens. If the baby sleeps through the night, it's a baby clause. And babies need help, so we put the comma. And then we have an independent clause and our comma. So what if you have two parents and a baby? And a cat. I just decided it might be fun to have a sentence about a cat. So my cat is usually cranky, and she is nice. These are both independent clauses. Do you remember what we said about how we connect two parents, two adults? A wedding ring. And that was the comma and then the connector. So here, but, comma, but. And then, do you notice that last clause? It starts with when. That's a diaper word. It's telling us there's a dependent clause happening when she wants something. My cat is usually cranky, but she is nice when she wants something. Now, if you've never heard the word cranky, that just means in a bad mood. Or what if we have two babies and a parent? Now notice our two babies, they both have diaper words in the front, as and when. And then in the middle, we have an independent clause. As my cat gets older, and remember the dependent, the baby, it needs more help. So we want to put that comma, that extra help. As my cat gets older, comma, she is nice when she wants something. So if you have two of one kind and one of another, that's a compound, complex sentence. So let's review. If you just have one parent, that gives us a simple sentence. If we have one parent plus another parent, join them, we have a compound sentence. If we have a parent plus a baby, that's a complex sentence. Parent plus a parent plus a baby. And this could also be a baby plus a parent, just two of one of another, is a compound complex sentence. So hopefully this word picture will help you remember and help you understand simple, compound, and complex sentences.